a 12, oh, it's gone off. Hello and welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to try and explain myself a little bit more on how I'm using a 12 volt transformer to power all the 12 volt electrics in Becky's van, because when I uploaded a video to show you that I'm using a 12 volt transformer so that I can use any power pack in Becky's van, a lot of people commented and said it was really inefficient that I was taking 12 volts, turning it into 240 and then turning it back to 12 volts. That simply isn't the case, because all power packs that I have come across, like this Bluetti here, have got lithium iron phosphate batteries in, and they are 54 volts. So you're taking 54 volts, turn it to 240 and then to 12 volt. Now the big downside of all these power packs is that they only have a 12 volt 10 amp outlet, which makes it very difficult to run a van on 12 volts. After all, a diesel heater draws 12 volts 12 amps, and a lot of these power packs will actually trip out if you try and use a diesel heater on them. So to get over this, I'm using a transformer, and this is a 30 amp transformer, so it's 12 volt 30 amps plugged into the 240 volt outlet of the power pack. And these power pack inverters are so efficient, it doesn't really draw a lot. But to better demonstrate this, I'll show you what young Kevin has done on his van, because he's copied this. So let me take you over to Kevin's van and you can see exactly what's going on. And again, the reason I'm making this video is to try and explain how this works and why I've done it. And the reason I've done this is because, like I said just now, all power packs, or most power packs except for my Bluetti AC200 Max, have a 10 amp 12 volt outlet, which makes it pretty impossible to run any decent stuff in a camper van. You can probably hear Kevin's got his max speeding, not max speeding,
max speeding rod, no, max air fan. Max
air fan running. He's got one blowing and the one at the front is going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, so airflow going through.
Yeah, so there's airflow going through, and these fans do draw a lot of power, and there is no way you could use one of these fans using the 10 amp outlet on a power pack. So Kevin's done exactly what I've done in Rebecca's van. He's got himself exactly the same 12 volt transformer, and this transformer is plugged into his, is that a Bluetti or a Power Oak? Power Oak 240 volt outlet. You can, if you can make out this cable here, you can see Kevin is a bit of a tech geek. As you can tell by all these wires. It's an
accident waiting to happen.
It's not staying like this. These are just wires that he's laying out and getting ready to convert his van into a camper, into a mobile, I think it's because he's a mobile DJ, yeah. So he needs a lot of power in his van.
A bit of all sorts.
Anyway, we're going off subject. So he's got a 240 volt 12 volt transformer plugged into his 240 volt outlet on his Power Oak, which has a 12 volt 10 amp outlet. So there's no way,
which is one of them,
which is one of these cigarette lighter socket outlets. We're all familiar with those. So by adding this 12 volt transformer, and this is rated at 30 amps, he can run his ceiling fans. All these lights are running off of it, and the fridge as well. And how much power is this drawing? Has it got a display on there? Can you tell us?
I don't think it does tell you much on this, unfortunately. Oh, well done. Yeah, it's 275.
Is that amps or watts?
Watts.
275 watts. So it's just over 20 amps.
Yeah.
Is it around about 20 amps, I think?
Something like that. Yeah, there's no way you could do that with what I had before. As soon as you put one of the fans on, the lights start flickering.
Yeah.
The other fan, and everything goes mad. I've got the internet on behind there as well. I'd lose my internet, I'd lose all sorts. And,
if you try to use the 12 volt outlet.
Yeah.
Let's just show the front so we know what we're talking about. So yeah, we're talking about these 12 volt outlets here. They're 10 amps. Most of these power packs have only got a 10 amp outlet like this. So that's the reason we're using a 240 volt 10 amp 30 amp, sorry, a 12, oh, it's gone off. Hello, it's gone off.
Who done my new transformer?
Oops.
That's possibly the power.
Oh no, look, I've pulled the wire out.
Right.
I won't touch it. Kevin's wiring's a little bit dodgy there, mate. So there you go, if you are considering using one of these 12 volt transformers, please do make sure you do the wires up tight enough so that if some plonker like me comes along and moves it, it doesn't come disconnected.
Sorry about that.
Seriously dodgy wiring, mate. Yeah. Right, so Kev has now put some new connectors on his 12 volt transformer. They're a little bit more secure. He's put some crimping connectors on there, as I suggested. And just to prove the point, we have now plugged the 12 volt transformer into my little Bluetti, and as you can see, the lights, the fan is all running again. And we are drawing 147 or 148 watts, around about 150 watts, which is way more than the 12 volt 10 amp outlet could handle. So it just goes to show that having a 12 volt transformer, you can use any power pack to power your entire camper van. This is exactly what I'm doing in Rebecca's van. Although I've got Rebecca's fridge plugged into the 12 volt 10 amp outlet, the rest of her van is plugged into the transformer. So when Rebecca leaves her van, she turns off the 240 volt outlet on her Bluetti AC 180, leaves the 12 volt connected, thus allowing her fridge to continue to run, but the rest of her van is isolated and switched off, minimising the risk of any fire. Makes sense, right? Mike, wait! Stop! Don't go! You've got to say ta-da.
I've got to say ta-da. See you later, everyone. It's been a wonderful time at the barn. You've got to come.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. It's been a pleasure meeting you, mate.
No worries. Well, I will see you in a couple of months. There's still plenty to do.
Do come back.
Oh, I will.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bon voyage.
So there you go, that's Mike gone, which means one thing. There's a big, huge space here now available at the barn. So if you're interested in renting this space, then drop me an email down below and I'll pass all the details on you need to know about renting a place here at the barn. We'll see you very soon. Ta for now.